Hey Archer, you want to come help do a video on fractions? Okay. Well, here's fractions with Beatrix. Hello. Oh, well, hey there, everybody. Good to see you. It's about lunchtime in the Huggett household, and we were thinking about having some pizza, so I thought it might be a real nice time for us to start talking about fractions. So now we can agree. We have two equivalent circles, right? They're both the same size. One is cheese and one is pepperoni. So I guess they're not entirely equal, but they are the same size. So what we're going to do is cook those, and then we're going to start cutting them into pieces to talk about how we create fractions, what are equivalent fractions, and what improper fractions are. Follow along, would you? Okay, fractions. Let's talk about those real fast because we learned about them before we left. Fractions, as you may remember and as Blake is pointing out, are representations of parts in a whole. Fractions all have a numerator and a denominator. Here's the numerator. The numerator tells how many parts we have. If there is more than one whole, the numerator can be more than the denominator. So the numerator is the number on the top part of a fraction. The denominator tells how many parts are in the whole. So we count how many are in one whole to determine what our unit fraction is, or denominator is. So we take a whole and see how many pieces it's divided into. And if it's divided into eighths, 8 is our denominator. If we have 5 of those eighths, like we do up here, we say 5/8, or 5 pieces out of 8 in total. Use these to help you understand fractions. Okay, remember these posters, and I will also put images of them online. How many pizzas do we have?
One whole pizza.
One whole pizza. Have we cut it into pieces yet?
No.
If I get another pizza, how many will we have?
2.
2 whole what?
Pizzas.
2 whole pizzas. That's right. Now we have 2 whole pizzas. What would happen if I cut those pizzas right down the middle?
There would be 4 whole pieces.
There would be 4 pieces of pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
But would there still be 2 whole pizzas?
No. There would be 2 cut in half.
Wow, there would be 2 cut in half. What a great fractioneer you are. All right, Beatrix, we have cut both pizzas in half.
Yeah.
How many whole pizzas do we have?
2.
How many halves of pizza do we have?
4.
So we can say we have 2 wholes or 4 halves, right?
Yes.
Very good. What will happen if I cut them here? How many pieces will we have?
Let's see.
Hmm. Should we find out?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's cut this pizza.
Okay. Okay. We cut it. How many pieces of pizza do we have here now?
4.
4. This pizza's cut into fourths. How many do we have here?
Let's see and count.
Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So, wait a minute. Is this half the same size as these 2 fourths?
Yes.
They are equivalent, or
6.
they are the same.
Yes.
Can you say the same?
They're the same.
Fantastic.
Yes, they are.
2 fourths is the same as 1 half. They are equivalent.
Yes, they are.
All right, I cut the pepperoni pizza again. Now how many pieces does it have?
8.
And how many does this one have?
2.
Which pizza has more?
8.
This one has more slices, right? But are they still the same size?
Yes.
They are. You can divide a whole into many pieces and it can still be the same. For example, we just found out that 2 fourths was equivalent to 1 half. When we cut those 2 fourths again, then we have 4/8, but they're still the same size as 1 half of pizza, right? Mm-hmm. We could probably even cut that one more time. Should we do that one more time?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We are good.
When we think about comparing fractions, it's kind of like opposite day, right? This is an Ian Klepper quote. The larger the denominator, the red number, the unit, right? The larger that it's divided into, the smaller the piece. So Ian said, think of it like a birthday cake. The more people that you have to share it with, the smaller your piece will be. So if you have a birthday cake and you have 2 people to share it with, you're going to get a huge piece of birthday cake, right? But if you have to share with 4 people, and you'll get 1/4 of it, and that's a little bit smaller, that's still a lot of cake. If you have 6 people, you only get 1/6. If you have 8 people, you get 1/8. If you have 100 people, you're going to get a teeny tiny slice of birthday cake. Ladies and gentlemen, we have cut this pizza now into 16 pieces. But you will notice that those 16 pieces still make up one whole. And so, they're still the same size. If I take this many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 16ths, 8 is half of 16, 8 16ths is an equivalent fraction to 1/2.
If we put both of the pizzas together, what would it be?
Let's find out. What a great question. I'm going to cut this one into 16ths, and we'll see how many 16ths we have all together with 2 whole pizzas. Go ahead and go.
Cut them into 16 pieces.
We cut them each into 16 pieces, right?
Yes.
So this is 16 16ths because it's all together, and this is 16 16ths because it's all together. If we add those together, we have 16 plus 16. That's 32. But our unit is still 16ths because that's what our whole was divided into. So these 2 pizzas together make 32 16ths. Thanks to Elena Lerma and Anna Laditka, we can also remember that fractions can represent more than one whole. Look, here's one whole, here's another whole, and then here's another piece of a whole. This is 20/8, it says. To find the denominator, the number on the bottom, remember, count the number of units in one whole. Here, there are 8 in each, so our unit is 8ths, right? Because there's 8 pieces in a whole. After you know the denominator, count how many pieces are shaded all together. This is the numerator. So for example, we have 8 here, 8 here. I know 8 and 8 makes 16. 4 more would be 20, 20/8. Another way to say this could be 2 written very big, as in 2 whole numbers, and 4/8. And we also see that that's 2 1/2. So instead of 2 4/8, we could write 2 1/2 if you get fancy. Now we're going to eat them and see what fraction we have left over when we're all finished. Are you ready to have lunch? All right, so after lunch, how many of the pepperoni pizzas do we have left? Yeah, how many pieces?
4.
4/16. We can also say 4/16 is 1/4, right? It's 1/4 of what we had. We're going to add that to how many cheese pieces we have left. Should we count how many cheese pieces we had left? It looks like we had half of the cheese pizza here. I know half of 16 is 8. 8 plus 4 more would be 12. 12 and 1 more is what?
It's 13.
13/16 left out of 32/16 that we started with. So we must have eaten, can you figure it out?
Yeah.
Oh, I was asking the people in the video.
I'm talking.
Yeah,